Whoa. Listen to the sound of my voice, guys. Memorize it well. This is the voice of Ben, and to the right of me is the voice of Michael. Here he goes.
Hello.
There.
Right means...
Well, it's a circle.
Yeah, well, I mean...
You're to the left of me, too. 3 rights make a left.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a globe.
You're on my right and my
If you
left,
go all the way around the globe, you're on the left of me.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
So you're relatively left of me.
Yeah, we're not directionally challenged here. Welcome to Polymuse.
You're west of me currently. You're currently west.
I'm currently confused. My name is Michael.
We did that.
We did that. All right. Here's Ben. Hi, Ben.
Hey, dude. How's it going? How's your week been? You ready to hit another round of Polymuse with the folks in the stew?
Last time we fucked the system, and this time we're gonna be fucked in the head. So
cock rock, no less.
Yeah.
Not butt rock.
Butt rock.
That's what they call like Nickelback and stuff now.
Oh.
People call that butt rock.
Do they?
Like radio rock, like Papa Roach, Creed, Trapped. I feel like that's what they call butt rock now. It's like a derivative term.
I would assume so.
You know? But it might not be eventually. I mean, there's people who think nu metal is a derivative, a term to say that it sucks, basically.
Sure.
And that's why a lot of people get mad when you call System of a Down nu metal, because they're so different than like Limp Bizkit, for example.
Do you call them Armenian metal?
I would call them that. I would call them alternative metal, experimental metal, punk metal. The nu metal stuff, they always had like a hip hop influence a lot of the time. They had a lot of, like System of a Down raps and stuff, but their rhythms don't come from the same structure. Like they're pulling it from folk music. They're not pulling it from like funk and grunge and stuff like that.
Right.
They get a different bounce, a different down and dirtiness to what they got going on. It's creepy. They're creepy. We say it all the time. This is kind of creepy. They're both singing on this song. We got Ego Brain and Thetawaves on this episode of Polymuse, where we break down the artists that change our lives song by song, rank them on a tier list. Ego Brain, so it starts with like clean kind of picking style guitar, almost like classical sounding. You got both of the System vocalists. You got Serge and Chavo kind of harmonizing.
Yep.
And you've got a lot... I would say this is basically a power ballad. It kind of rises and falls a little bit more. It doesn't chug along the same path as much of a power ballad, but it's just like a slow... You know what? This is the style that they get into a lot more on Mesmerize and Hypnotize. This is kind of their new style. What do you think about that?
I think they're experimenting, yes. I would agree. And then they lean into that a couple years later. And there's a bit of a gap between Steal This album and the Mesmerize, Hypnotize albums that we hit on later. I remember waiting for what seems like a long time for those to come out. Meanwhile, we're sitting on this kind of what we consider not so great album here of Steal This album. But yeah, this would be a taste of what's to come later down the line, certainly.
I'm thinking of all that other stuff, like the title track on Hypnotize and Sad Statue, some of this stuff where it's basically power ballads. The more we've gotten through their early material, we've gotten through some of their stuff, and this is like the bridge between Steal This album and Mesmerize, where it's that kind of rolling, rollicking up and then down again, and almost lullaby core on the verses, and then the choruses are like intense, but they're restrained. Maybe that's what it is. There's a lot more restraint than in some of the other like more spastic, like punk rock material they have. They get powerful and big, but it's so restrained.
Serge has always had good control over his vocals, never too off-key. And of course, he does a number of different things with his voice between the actual singing and the screaming and the kind of in-between mode there. But whether it's chest voice or in his head. And of course, he does in the last episode, the last song that we did, where he's doing the kind of sounds as well that he's adding in for the track of Fuck the System as well. But he's always seemed to have great control of his voice. And when he goes on to do his independent projects as well in a number of different genres, we really get a number of different vocals from him, always in great control. This is a track where, again, a very open to interpretation track. It's really one side or the other for System of a Down. It's either very open to interpretation or very, very blatant and hitting you over the head. And usually those are your crashing. This is one of those where it's more open, fluid, and kind of, I always think of a trippy experience where it's kind of like we're going to mold verbally through the verses kind of throw some words at you and kind of let you make the journey and what you think this means exactly. Certainly ego is mentioned, possibly two egos, one that is loved and one that is not so much. So it's just a very interesting song that could be taken a number of different directions.
He's saying, yeah, your ego, it's man-made shame. You see my pain is real, watch my world dissolve. So it's all in your head, man. It's all just let go of your ego, let go of what you want. It doesn't even matter if you live or die because it's what's the difference anyway? It's the same number of molecules. It's just chill. It's just you want things to be a certain way, and that's why you're upset. But if you just existed and just went with the flow, it's not going to happen though.
Yeah, no, I think the chorus is great. You see my pain is real, as you stated, watch my world dissolve. Pretend that none of us see the fall. As I turned to sand, you took me by the hand and declared that love prevails over all. So an inner battle, and again, falling apart as you just stated. But I think that also allows some imagery as well. It would have made a great music video had they put one together. Could have done a lot of different things as one fighting against himself or falling apart, that conflict.
Turning to sand. Could have had a bunch of sand turning into people.
Yeah.
Bunch of people turning into sand. That'd be cool. No, the sand turning into people, and then they become self-aware, and then they get an ego, and then they start wanting stuff.
Right.
And then it doesn't matter because we were all just dust in the wind.
I'm still thinking of a couple episodes back when you were referring to Goofy. I'm thinking of Darkwing and that kind of things. This could go a whole
Okay.
different direction,
That's
be a
a
more
lot
serious tone to an animated cartoon video.
Serious, like
Yeah.
Darkwing Duck. Yeah. I know what you
That
mean.
was a very serious cartoon.
Well, compared
that
to
was
the
at least
cartoons.
age 6. There are no
yeah.
5-year-olds
Yeah.
watching Darkwing.
Dude, Darkwing. Not Batman.
No.
Not Batmonk. Darkwing. Not Nightwing.
Yeah.
That'd be okay. It's that vibe.
Yeah.
I bet you Darkwing holds up.
I bet, well, I don't know, maybe.
Is Launchpad in that? Or is he in DuckTales?
Shoot, he's in DuckTales, certainly.
And he's in Tailspin.
Tailspin.
Who's Darkwing's sidekick? Is it Launchpad again?
It might be.
I don't know. Those guys are funny.
Yeah.
They haven't had those guys in a long time. They did maybe they did. They did a DuckTales reboot, I think.
Did they?
Darkwing might be in there somewhere. Who knows?
Darkwing, yeah, popped up in something else, I believe.
They did Chip and Dale movie, and it was like Roger Rabbit type thing where they put. I bet you he's in there.
Probably. Yeah, it seems like a lot of the old shows you remember watching really only lasted like one season.
The Disney ones might have lasted a couple seasons.
Yeah.
But they had a high turnover rate.
Darkwing Duck went for 91 episodes, 3 seasons
yeah.
technically. But that means 30 per, which is a lot. But
yeah. Remember, what was it called?
yeah, I remember vividly. Actually, the first season was 65 episodes. 65 episodes, technically.
Bonkers. The show Bonkers.
What characters were those? I can't even.
He was
I
a
don't
cat,
even know.
and he was a cop. It was exactly like Roger Rabbit, but he was a cat.
He was a cat cop?
And his sidekick was like a big fat cop guy who wasn't funny, but then he was like crazy, like fall down the stairs all the time, and they'd like, let's have a mystery. That was earlier than that's Darkwing Duck era, not System of a Down era. We're taking it way back. Nostalgia corner for this episode got out of control, guys, because we took down a very strange. This is more, check out our other podcasts. We got the Fantasy Draft Lineup podcast as well, where we do drafts of lineups of classic cartoon characters. It'll make more sense if you check us out on there, but it's we talk about this kind of stuff. If you want like a DuckTales, we haven't done DuckTales yet, but we could. DuckTales, Disney Afternoon. You heard it here first, folks, because check them out. Fantasy Draft Lineup featuring myself as well as Michael, as well as our other 2 co-hosts. But that's cross-promotion.
Yep.
Check them out. That's Tom and Greg, the other 2 guys. And the 4 of us do a different little pop culture corner on here. Darkwing Duck, music video, System of a Down, ego brain. This man's ego brain.
Yep.
The ego wants what it wants, and what this man, the first thing he says to me, Darkwing Duck. I say, Michael, where does your ego go? What does your heart truly want? The innermost mind of your ego, and before you dissolve into sand. Disney Afternoon.
Yeah.
Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck.
Gummy bears. What about gummy bears?
Gummy bears
DuckTales.
are fine. Those are
What
good.
about what's it called? Mighty Ducks.
Mighty Ducks, yeah.
Not the movie where it's people.
No.
The cartoon where it's
was
ducks.
solid.
That was a good.
That's
That was not
much-
as good as Turtles.
No. Well, nothing's as good as Turtles.
Although you did throw Street Sharks in there.
I did.
Biker Mice from Mars.
Biker Mice from Mars. Man, we had all the animal
Cowboys
people.
of Moo Mesa. They were cow turtles.
Cow turtles, that's right. Cow turtles.
You know, cow people.
Oh,
the
right.
turtle people, cow people, shark people, rabbit. No, mice.
Were the rabbits?
Biker mice.
Yeah.
Kinda. And then you had Sonic, and they're all like animal people too.
They are indeed animal people.
They're bunnies and stuff in that.
Mm-hmm.
Darkwing Duck, they're all ducks. Goofy, they're all dogs.
Yeah.
A lot of them are dogs most of the time, or ducks.
Lots of stuff's flooding back now.
Nostalgia corner, folks. What was the cartoons of the era of Steal This Album? What do we got? What do we got for nostalgia?
For 2003.
Taking you all the way back to 2003, the year that System of a Down released the seminal album, Steal This Album.
Well, we were certainly watching our superhero cartoons at the time.
Okay. Teen Titans hit this year.
Yep.
You got the other Turtles show, the second Ninja Turtles show where they rebooted. Not
Turds
bad.
2.
Not bad.
Turtles 2.
Turds 2. Now they've done it 3 or 4 times.
So many.
All Grown Up, the TV show where they reboot. What's it called? Rugrats. That was pretty funny.
Oh, yeah. I keep thinking that was earlier. Is that that was a redone or no?
It was like the next generation.
Next generation.
Type of thing.
Gotcha.
Animatrix came out.
A Matrix?
Animatrix.
Oh, my God.
1.5. Matrix 1.5.
God, you and the Matrix. We'll never get over that.
I won't. I watch those movies, dude, and everyone likes the first. That's what you don't understand. I am weird because I
don't
like the
understand.
sequels. You don't like any of them. I like them all though. They're just a loop. There's just, you never are done getting all the information from that. You got the Recess, the movie. Recess was funny. Did you watch that?
Recess was all right. Let's see, we were heading into middle school.
I would have been 12.
I would have been 13.
No, I still watched cartoons. I still watch cartoons.
Yeah, absolutely. Know that I watched a ton of Recess, though.
Recess was basically like The Simpsons for kids. They just like kept getting more side characters and just building out like this whole town of people and all their different relationships, and like everybody had their own little episode. Even the background characters got like their own special episode where you find out, here's their parents and here's what they do. And it was just a great little, the comedy, the different characters. That's what it was. It wasn't based on the situations. It was based on the characters.
Gotcha.
It's like the characters are so well-rounded and well done.
Gotcha. Yeah, the good Justice League cartoon was on at that time. Static Shock. So we had good superhero cartoons, certainly at that time.
So put that in your mind. Get your little music video going. Here's Ego Brain. Rank Ego Brain for me. What do you got?
I give it a solid B for not bad.
Ooh.
Did you crush it?
I give it a C.
C.
Solid C.
For crap.
C. Yeah, I give it a C for crush it.
Bombing the back end of this album.
I knew you were so mad that I did like a B+ or something at the beginning, and you're like, I can't. And I'm like, don't worry.
Just a slippery slope here. When you start whacking tracks, you're just like, nope, nope, nope.
I'm like Rick Rubin in this piece. I'm like, let's cut 16 songs, boys. I'll tell you which ones suck.
All right, so you
like, here's $1 million, Rick.
So Ben gives Ego Brain a C. Michael gives Ego Brain a B. All right, I guess love doesn't prevail overall there on your list, huh?
Thetawaves.
Thetawaves.
So what's this song about to you, Thetawaves?
It's about different things. First of all, it has 2 demo versions under the name Waiting for You.
Okay.
I think it is a little wild.
It's chunky, crunchy, up and down, boom bap, punkish, folkish, just that simple up down crazy pogo rhythm that they do. And then kind of that hand foot weird tappity weird rhythm when he's doing the verses. Locking in, but it's like on the edge, right in the razor's edge of the knife type of rhythm. Kicks in, good chorus, decent chorus. What do you think? I had Thetawaves stuck in my head the other day when I was walking.
Oh,
and I didn't know what it was.
So
and
it's Thetawaves.
It was Thetawaves, and maybe the Thetawaves were beamed into my mind, like the actual Thetawaves. This is about what? It's about like there's waves that can be beamed into your head, and it's the the beams of the waves match up to the wavelength of your brain. You can control your thoughts, and they can send impulses and microwave data into your brain somehow.
Yeah, so the chorus, time feels like a midnight ride. Finality waits outside, weeping in perplexity's arms, caressing our smiles inside. So the more literal interpretation, I think, is like a night ride, the rush you feel, the possible ending. Is that what you get from it?
I don't know what this is about, dude. It says the national debt is at times an ally. I don't know what they want me to believe at this point.
Yeah, it could be a political message mixed in there. My interpretation is just coming to the end, whether it's a literal sense and everything going by in a rush, or coming to an end from a geopolitical sense. It's just kind of another interpretation with a number of lines about a different collection of thoughts on debt and the government, and maybe a literal sense of driving around. It's an oddball song, that's for sure.
The Thetawaves thing reminds me of binaural beats, where it's like if supposedly you listen to these wave files that are like specific frequencies that are primed to the specific frequencies of your brain, and it can make you happy or make you sad or make you have a psychedelic trip, all this crazy stuff.
Right.
I don't think any of it's real. I don't think any of it. I remember being kind of, it was basically like the scam that came out when we were in high school, and it was like an iTunes app, I think, and it was like really expensive. You would have to like buy them individually. It would be like, this one's like $100 for these. It's like, it'll change your life. They're all over YouTube now, just different frequencies that you can hear to make you sleepy or concentrate. And some of it might work. I like white noise. I like just listening to white noise. But as far as reprogramming your mood by way of matching frequencies, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Maybe.
My tattoo artist was telling me that certain sound waves will change the way people act towards you and calm them and stuff like that.
And they have done that stuff where they play sound waves at like plants and stuff, and they like grow better and grow faster.
Right.
So it's electrical waves through the air. So maybe if they could get them to the correct frequency. You just got to dial into the correct frequency, folks, and that frequency is Thetawaves on Polymuse.
It's been playing a frequency here to calm you down. Does that mean you bombed this track?
You've been doing it without me knowing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just a low frequency.
Or have you been playing me System of a Down songs?
Well, that may be sending mixed signals.
But yeah, I need mixed, you give an ADHD Ritalin, it calms them down. You give Ritalin to a normal person, it pops them up. So that makes sense. You fight fire with fire, calm you down, you hear some crazy System of a Down. You know what I mean?
Fire with gasoline.
Yes.
So what did you grade this? Did you see the hell out of this song like you have been?
I gave it a B-.
Oh my God, that's so damn close. I gave it a B, so that's okay. We're close there.
For getting stuck in my head, I gave it the B-. I like the chorus. The chorus is really good. This is a standout. This is one that would have been, maybe polished up and put on a onto Toxicity or a more polished thing. This one holds it together. This one, Intervision, Fuck the System, Mr. Jack, a couple of them, are kind of they hold it together. The rest of them are kind of just filler, really.
Yeah, I agree.
We got one more ep of Steal This Album, guys. We got 2 more songs on it, and we're just cruising through the discography of System of a Down. Next time, we're doing the final 2 tracks on Steal This Album, and then we'll be on to the double disc masterpiece, magnum opus, Mesmerize, Hypnotize.
Oh, yeah.
Double duo on the System of a Down Polymuse radio. See you bye. That's Steal This Podcast for you.